exactly.
Working in
the public sector.
Public sector. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where do you want me to have this one?
On that side, yes.
On that side here. Try to keep turn it on.
It's not muted yet. So does it work?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the microphone? No. No.
Should do.
Yeah. Now? Yeah. It's better? Perfect.
Welcome.
Thank you, and thank you so much, Elsa, for that interesting presentation. I'll just start to see so that you can see my slides here. Always a tech pause. So now you can see the slides. Yeah. Thank you so much for the invitation. As I said in the beginning, I'm going to talk about accessibility in audiovisual media, and to narrow it down even more, I will talk about accessibility in online videos. You know, videos that we see every day on web pages, on social media. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to talk about the accessibility inside the video itself, the way that you can create a video to be accessible. And I'm also going to talk about and show you, I'm going to try to do a live demo here. I'm going to show you a video player that we have created in Malmö. So, my name is Mikael Hellman. I work as a video expert at the city of Malmö here in Sweden. Malmö is Sweden's third largest city. It's located in the south of Sweden. I'm not sure, have you been there? Yeah, some of you nod. If you haven't, now you get a really great tip for the vacation this summer. In Malmö, we have approximately 150 people working with communication. And my role in the city is to help them and support them with everything that regards online video. So it can be how to create a video, how to record a video, how to edit a video, and then how to share and publish videos. So that's one part of the role. And the other part is that I do some kind of trend analysis for myself, just to keep track of what's going on in the industry. And that's how I came across accessibility for the first time 5-6 years ago. It was when I discovered accessibility. So since then, I have thought a lot about accessibility, and I have talked to many people, I've talked to experts, I've talked to users, just to get a feeling and just to get to know the area, what people would like to see, what is accessible. So that's what I'm going to share here with you today, some of it. As you might know, we have a new legislation here in Sweden based on the EU directive on web accessibility. And it started here in Sweden from the 1st of January this year. And that means a lot of things when it comes to accessibility on the web. But if we focus on online videos, it says that online videos must be created in a way so that they are accessible, and they have to have accessibility features as well. So some of the features are captions and audio descriptions and a text version. According to the law, we don't have to publish sign language versions, but actually in Sweden we have a different law, as I also said, the Swedish Language Act, and in that act it says that if you work with communication in the public sector, you should use or publish sign language versions as often as you can. So that's why we have when we created our player, we have integrated sign language into the player. So we can talk a lot about legislations and acts and laws. It comes down to people, actually. That's the most important thing. So that we, as a city, that we can create information that is accessible for everyone. It's a really important thing when it comes to the democratic process. Can you see what this is? It's a really beautiful picture of a meeting. This is actually, it's really hard to create a video and then add accessibility to that video. So the most important thing is that you start really early and talk about and discuss how the video should and how you want to make the video more accessible. So we have started a project in Malmö, and where we have invited experts from the field. We have talked to people with different needs, and just to the goal is to create the best accessible video ever. That's the goal. We will. So we're so happy here because this was taken last week. We have just finished the script for the video, and we will start to record or to shoot that video in after the summer. So if you're interested, let me know, and I'll be back to you to share that with you. So yeah, and as I said, I will talk about the accessibility inside the video itself, and I will also show you a live demo of the video player that we have created. So when it comes to accessibility inside the video, I have a few pointers here. Areas where you have to pay a little more focus to, so that you actually create a video that is accessible. So the first thing here is contrast. Contrast in colors, contrast in the picture, contrast between a font in front of a picture, and also the contrast in the audio. So it means the contrast between the dialogue and the background music. You can of course use background music, but you have to have a difference between that in levels. So that's one of the first things. And also, people tend to use colors to highlight important information, and of course you can do that, but it's also important to add additional information. So in this case, if a person is colorblind, then it's obviously really hard to see that you have a green and a red button. So add a text or something else that so that the information is more accessible. Flashing lights can cause seizures. Really important. In Sweden, it's 3 seconds. I think it's global, of course, but we have a limit to 3 seconds that you have to think about. Use solid backgrounds. Really important for people with cognitive impairment, so they actually can focus on the important things in the video. So if you have an interview, so in this case, so that they can focus on the person being interviewed. Also tell the story in a chronological order. Don't jump in the timeline too much, or don't jump at all, because it can be really tricky to understand the information if you jump too much in the video. And make room for audio descriptions and captions, of course. If you can plan this ahead, you have so much to benefit from that, so that you can do a really good audio description between different scenes, and actually you can obviously tell people to talk more slowly. You can tell people to be more exact, or to talk in plain language, actually, or easy to read. And also, I've heard that people tend to mix up the words or the meaning of captions and subtitles. So a subtitle is the dialogue, is the transcription or the dialogue of the video. And then also, according to the law, which says that you also have to describe important sounds. So if you have an important sound, and you combine the important sound with the subtitle, then you get the caption. So that's how it works. And the last thing, the placement of content in the video, really important because you know that you're going to have captions and a lower third. A lower third is the title and the name of the person being interviewed. So think about that so that you don't cover their mouth or that you don't cover important information. You can see that if you have a chart of something, it's common that you hide the important information underneath the caption. So these are just some headers where I think that you can pay a little bit more attention to when you plan your video. And if you think about something else, please let me know. So that was the accessibility inside of the video. So now it's time for the accessibility inside of the video player. What we have here is our beautiful player that we have created in Malmö. So you have a menu here with the captions, so you can turn on and turn off. I will show this in a minute. And then we have something that we call an accessibility bar, placed in the top on the left here. And let's see here. At the left, we have the audio description button. So if you're blind or have visual impairment, this is the first button that you will find if you use a screen reader. That's the first button. And the icon here, or the symbol, that's a Swedish symbol for sign language or audio description. It's in Swedish. It's syntolkning. In the middle, we have a text version. And lastly, we have the sign language. And we can do that. We can create our own video player because we have something called an OVP, an online video platform. So that's a cloud-based service that you have to pay for. So we can upload all our videos to that platform, and then we can actually have full control over our video assets. So we can share videos to our webpage, we can share videos to our intranet, we can manage live streaming, we can publish videos to social media and to secure locations and so on and so on. So this is a place where we can have total control over our videos. And when you use a service like an online video platform, then you also have the possibility to create your own technology on that platform. So that's what we have been doing in Malmö the last couple of years. So that's how we can create the accessible video player. And I've had the question before if this is something that's open source. And the tricky thing with video today is that you have to have some kind of streaming service in the backend to help you to stream the videos. So that's why it can't be open source. But of course, if you have an OBP like ours, of course we can share information how to create that video player. But if you use another OBP, it's harder. So now it's time for the live demo. Always a bit scary to do that. Just to see here. I'll actually update the player here. So this is actually live, and if you would like to see this player when you get back home, you can actually try the player. So we'll just start. Yeah, it's my voice. We have the menu down here for the captions, and this is quite common today that you can have a caption that you can turn on and turn off. So you can see here you can have different languages, and also in this player here we can go into our settings menu and design our caption. We can actually try something here. We can choose a red color on the font here, and we can do a green background. I'm not so sure that this is accessible, but you know, it's just a show. So we can scale the text down, or if we want to scale the text up again, we can actually also go into the fonts and choose another font if you like, so that you can design your own experience actually, depending on your needs. As I said, I'm not too sure if this is accessible or beautiful. So we'll turn off the text now. And now for the more interesting parts is that when we created this video, we didn't think about accessibility at all. So this is a video where we have tried to make it more accessible, but it's really hard. But in the end of the video here, you can play it down here, I will play a part where you hear me talk in the video, and then you will hear absolutely nothing but background music, just to see that there's nothing more happening. And then I will turn on the audio description, so you can compare the two.
Och använder video på det sätt som vi vill. Allt baseras egentligen bara på vilken målgruppen är och effekter som vi vill uppnå.
So you can hear absolutely nothing but background music. So I will go back here, and then I will just activate the audio description instead.
Sprida och använder video på det sätt som vi vill. Allt baseras egentligen bara på vilken målgruppen är och effekter som vi vill uppnå.
Filmen avslutas med att vi ser Malmöbor i olika
So there you go.
tippar på sina mobiltelefoner.
There you have the audio description. So it's just a single, another audio track that's synchronized with the video. And in the middle here we have the text version, and when you activate the text version, you will have this text box underneath the video. So we can go back here so that you can see what I'm doing. We can ask, this is based on the captions. You can highlight if you are blind or have a visual impairment, or a cognitive impairment. You can actually highlight the text and then have
Mikael Hellman, Malmö stad har använt video som kommunikationskanal sedan 2009. Vi var tidigt ute med att undersöka hur vi kan arbeta med rörlig.
So that's a kind of a text to speech. Really useful. It's even useful for the SEO, the search engine optimization, so that Google can index, or some other search engine can index the video so they can know that to see what the video is all about. And in our case, we have created, so this is a work in progress. We have created the text version based on the captions. So if I actually start here.
Video har ju blivit allt vanligare, och det är
And if I activate the captions here, you can see that they are synchronized.
Om man tittar på den digitala utvecklingen som sker i samhället, om man tittar på behovet av snabb och tydlig information.
So this is how we have created this text version, and I'm not so sure that this is the most accessible one. You can of course create your own. You can write down your own text version and then publish that into the video player. But this is a case of create the text version more easily. So that's the text version. And now for the audio description, or the sign language, excuse me. I will activate the sign language here. So there you go, there you have her. Often when you have a sign language version, you have to go to a different web page. And my goal, or our goal, is to create a video, one single video that is accessible for everybody. so they can create their own experience in the video player. So I can start talk here. So you can see that she's talking here or signing, and I can actually drag her around here and place her wherever I want to, so that you don't interfere with the graphics. And you can see that while I'm dragging her around here, she is still talking or signing. And in some cases, if you have some kind of visual impairment and some kind of hearing impairment, it can be useful to actually scale her up or down if you want to, and then place her at the place where you want to have her. So that's all integrated into the same video player. Isn't it cool? Yeah, it's cool. So with that, I have nothing more to show you. So do you have any questions? Or should you ask that? Is that your...
You can ask.
So do you have any questions? No questions?
Okay, I have a question. It's if you do interviews in other languages, now you have, it's Swedish is the main language, but if you do interviews in other language and you use a translation, subtitle for translation, and people who can't read that one, not because they are visually impaired, because of reading difficulties, do they have the possibility to listen to the text simultaneously with the picture? Or do you have any kind of thought of spoken subtitles?
So do you mean something like that you change the language here?
Yeah.
And then, oh, sorry.
So you show that, can you see the picture and have it spoken at the same time?
It's nothing like this. She's not very good at English. We have to learn more English. So was it like that or no?
I thought when you're looking at the video and if you can follow the text, like the subtitles.
Yeah.
Is there any possibility to get the subtitles spoken to you so you can look at the video?
So a combination of the text version and, of course, yes, we will look into that. Of course, we can't do that at this time, but this is a work in progress. So obviously, if that's something that people would like to see, we can definitely see if we can develop something like that.
I think that might be needed if you don't understand the language which is spoken, and then you have the text and you can for translation, but you're not fast enough to read the text. So then I really good idea.
Yeah, thanks for the really good input.
Yeah. And also about the way of writing the subtitles and doing the audio description, because we are talking a lot about taking in plain language and easy to read language in this process. What do you think about that? How are you approaching the subtitles and the audio description?
Well, the approach to the subtitles is that, yes, of course, use plain language and easy to read text when you create the. So that's something that when we order subtitles or captions from a subtitle company, we actually say that we want it to be in a more accessible way, and also that they create the captions with only 32 characters, because that's more accessible on social media. Because if you scale up a text or a subtitle on social media, then the subtitle actually fits in the player. Okay. So if you have more than 32 characters, you have multiple rows instead.
That's the length of the subtitle.
Yeah, exactly.
So you try to get them in plain language.
Yeah.
And also the audio description in plain language.
Yeah. But with the audio description here, We have talked to audio scribers in Malmö, so they are helping us, and of course that's the what we have been talking to her about. So it will be in plain language. Yeah.
Anyone else have any question?
Yeah.
Can you use the subtitles and the sign language at the same time?
Yeah. I can show you. We can go back here in the player. We can just, 2 minute things going on here. We turn off the, do you want it in English? This beautiful, that's my boss actually. And then we can play.
Det finns ju egentligen hur många sätt som helst.
So now you have the audio description and the caption.
Och använder video på det sätt som vi vill.
And you can add the sign.
Oh, of course,
Filmen
yeah.
avslutas med att vi ser Malmöbor i
There you
olika
go.
åldrar som
But
tittar.
she's finished talking here at the end. So you can have all of the three as a combination.
De flesta av våra förvaltningar har videomaterialet.
So this is so you can design your own experience, basically. It's too much. Okay.
I'm Ingrid Bolenius and I'm from the Swedish Dyslexia Association. I have dyslexia of my own. It's very interesting, but for me it's very important to hear the subtitle, like Esther's. Because if it's Swedish, no problem, but it's here Finnish film, I don't understand Finnish, I cannot read the subtitle, then I must hear the subtitle. And that's not even this film, it's very important for me with dyslexia to hear the subtitles.
Really good input. So we will look into that to see if it's possible. Can't think of why it shouldn't be.
Okay. Thank you very, very much. This was
Thank
very
you.
interesting.
Thank you.
Before we go for break,